Hello everybody, Dead Spikes here, and today I'm making a video talking about my support Pyro I have made. My debuff Pyro build. If you've been on my stream the past few days, I finally got my whole build all together for my debuff Pyro. Something I've been wanting to make for probably about a week. And here I'm just showcasing it in a quick Eye of the Storm. This build was made specifically for Eye of the Storm, and it clears it very quickly. You see how fast that brood mother just dropped right there? It kind of just spawned and died. The whole goal of this build is to be able to debuff enemies so that your teammates can deal more damage. So when you're running this build, you don't want to do it solo. You're going to want to have a teammate that can deal a lot of damage. The teammate can either be a trickster or a techno. It works either way. Techno is preferred for speedruns. You're going to be a lot quicker being that they can do the range. But yeah, when you're playing this build, you'll notice pretty much all I do is just debuff stuff and make it easier for my Technomancer myth to be able to kill. So we can see the crawler spawned here. I just throw a thermal bomb on him and he pretty much like 1 or 2 bursts him. Throw a thermal bomb on that one and the crawlers are both dead already right there. I'm using a primary that is shooting freezing shots. We'll go over it when we go over the full build towards the end of this, but I'm basically just freezing stuff the whole time since Technos get extra damage towards frozen targets and it stops them from moving. So that's most of my job. Again, I mean, this build is made towards Eye of the Storm. You can use it in other expeditions. It would work great in other expeditions, but the main goal was to make sure Eye of the Storm can get golds done. So I use this build to carry people. We got our third person there, Grim, who's an under-leveled character, and we're able to get gold with just me and my Techno here. Using this build and then using my damage Techno build. He's using my damage Techno build too, so that's pretty cool that we're using both of my builds right here to be able to do this. You see how fast that beast just dies right there? It's crazy. Yeah, so we're getting towards the end of this Eye of the Storm. And again, we're just gonna go over the whole build once we get there. This isn't too gear reliant, which is nice too. I think there's only 1 legendary you need. So that's pretty nice. Very easy build to make. If you are on Pyromancer and you have some people to play with, I definitely recommend trying it out. So the one I was looking at there, I didn't really show my debuffs too good because the other Pyromancer was also debuffing. So we're going to show a different run here, and we're just going to show how fast we can down Yagak when using a nice debuff Pyro like this. So I'm going to put all of my debuffs on him right here, and then my teammate Bear, the Technomancer, is just going to juice him. So that's everything on him, and then you can notice when I turn around right here, Yagak's already dead. That's how fast he is. If you've tried doing him, you should know Yagak is very, very tanky. But with this setup, you can just kill him instantly, so the fight becomes very, very easy, which is nice. So you can see we get golds quite frequently with this build. I would say probably 90% of the time. There's the rare occurrence where we don't, where maybe sometimes the person we're carrying didn't stand in the circle long enough or something like that. But a 513 with a carry is pretty good time, I would say. All right, let's go over the build now. All right, now we're going to go over the full build. There are a bunch of different ways you can run debuff Pyro. This is just the way that I like to run it. I might try different ways down the line too, but this way right now is currently a lot of fun. Before we get too far into this build and everything that's going, I'm going to remind you guys to make sure to smack that subscribe button and make sure to also turn on your bell notifications. That way you know every time I post a video, because I post videos pretty much every single day, and you'll never miss one as long as you have those bell notifications on. All right, so for the skills I run heatwave, thermal bomb, and ash blast. Now that we know the skills, let's get into all the mods and the skill tree. So there's a lot on the screen here. And it did take me a while to decide everything. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't have absolutely everything I want here yet. There's still a little bit of stuff that we might switch around, but not too much. The basic idea is kind of what we want to go over anyways. You do see a lot of legendaries here, but don't worry. Most of them are not needed at all. They're kind of just there because they're better than the other variant I had. As for the skill tree, we do not get the capstone, which is weird. It's very, very rare that you don't grab the very last perk of the tree, but the very last perk of that tree is going to give us extra damage, which we purposely do not want extra damage because we're not here to deal damage. This build is here purely to debuff and make it so your teammates can deal a lot of damage. So every single point in the skill tree is made towards that. As for our weapon, we are running the absolute 0. If you don't get this weapon, it's not too big of a deal, but I highly recommend it as long as you're running the technos anyways, because you can freeze stuff very, very frequently, which will stop them from coming into your pylons. And it will also increase your technos damage since they're most of the time built towards freeze damage anyway. The secondary perk I put on it was Shadow Comet. You do not need Shadow Comet, but Shadow Comet is very nice because it gives you a big chunk of damage. So that is the best perk, I would say, for your second slot there. If not, it really doesn't matter. You can run tons of different things there. It's up to you. Look around. Any mod there is fine. I think I used to use Clip Roller. Yeah, I used to use Clip Roller before Shadow Comet. That works too, so you don't have to sit there and reload your weapon. The secondary weapon I don't really use. Some people use things like Morning Winds shotgun, and then some Death Shield combo style stuff. But again, that's getting more into having your Pyro deal a little bit of damage. But my goal here with this build is to make it so I don't deal any damage, but I'm purely debuffing and helping the team. So that's what it's set up towards. Now we're getting into the armor. So we have 2 legendary pieces on, but neither of these are important at all, and we do not need either of them at all. The only reason they are actually on, the helmet I'm using is for double fun, which makes it so you can hit 2 targets with thermal bomb, but you do not need that perk. If you don't have it, it's not going to make a difference to this build at all. It's just a luxury in the end to add a little bit extra efficiency. It is not needed though. For the chest piece, the only reason I am running the armor of Akari is because the attributes on it are perfect. Those are the 3 attributes you would want on every single piece of armor: anomaly power, skill life leech, and cooldown reduction. So since it comes with that, that's what I ran with, and it has a good natural perk on the bottom. As for this, the only tier 3 mod you need here for the armor is branded. You can see I have it on the gloves on the bottom. Enemies afflicted by thermal bomb receive 40% more damage. That is the only tier 3 this build needs, and unfortunately it is a chance drop, so you're gonna have to farm legendary sources until it does drop. That is the only required legendary. You don't need to know legendary Akari sets or anything like that, because we're not here for damage. Every other mod here is tier 1 that you need. But all the tier 1s, try to run every single tier 1 you see on here. I don't want to go over them all, but they're all meant towards debuffing. Emergency stance I do not actually want on this build, but I currently don't have the perfect rolled boots to be able to swap it yet, so I'm still running it for now. But you don't go towards that. You don't want emergency stance. You'd want to throw another perk on to help your skills. There is that perk that makes it so when you go low on health you get your cooldown back. That might be a good replacement over emergency stance there. Yeah, that'll pretty much do it. So like I said, for that armor, that card that you see right there, you're going to want to get an anomaly power, skill life leech, cooldown reduction as your attributes if you can. It's not that important. The most important part is that all 5 pieces on this build, all 5 pieces of armor have cooldown reduction. That is the most important part. That is your first step. Get cooldown reduction on all 5 pieces. And then you start slotting in all these mods, trying to get these mods in every place. But you really want to get maximum cooldown reduction. That'll do it for this build. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I hope you guys can too. Let me know how you run this build, because I'm sure a lot of you run Debuff Pyro very differently, and I am very curious, and I would love to hear how you run it. If you guys enjoyed this video, you found it helpful, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button. It does help me out a lot. Make sure to smash that subscribe button so you can see more of my Outrider content. We're going to keep making daily content for at least another few months here. If you guys want to join my Discord community or my Twitch, they are both in the description of this video down below. Anytime you have a question or anything, definitely make sure to get a hold of me on Discord. I will respond as quick as I can, and all of my builds are posted in the Discord if you just want to grab this spreadsheet from there. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. This is Bikes out.